funk streak. As you can say, I'm in a funky place. I wanted to test out, actually, there's some things in Rust, not Rust, but in GD Native and Godot. Something that I saw the other day was not CSS box sizing. It's going to be in here, not this page though. Yeah, that's multi-mesh. We want a mesh instance. I wanted to play a little bit with Leon and mesh instance because there's this get surface material and set surface material. So you can set a surface material. So in this case, you could set, say, you just give it some ID, some surface. Well, a surface. In this case, you would say, hey, surface number 0 is going to be this material. But on there, for each, well, the mesh is a little bit more complicated. Now I am stumbling all over this right now. But if we look at a mesh, where is it? Come on, get surface arrays. Yes, here we go. So it turns out that you can have more than one surface in your mesh. Now I wanted to try this out. So let's say that we had a border and a background, right, as one element. And because of that, you should be able to apply a different material for each one of those pieces. So we're going to try to do that. Because, let's see, do I have Godot up and running? Looks like I do. Let's bring that over. We go into button. We've basically got this 9 grid, right? Which is what I'm calling canvas at the moment. And canvas has many pieces in it. It's kind of like this top left, top right. So if we turn that on and off, you can see that really I just created a mesh in Blender a while ago. I created that piece. Same with like the right piece, etc. Let's see where's top. Here's top. And then the background is its own separate entity. And I wanted to see whether or not I could do this with Leon plus Godot in one single object. So I wanted to try that. Because I saw this API and I thought, you know what? I want to learn this. I'm going to explore a little bit with this. So, there we go. So surface get arrays. All right. So let's go into array mesh for a moment. As in array mesh, there's this added surface from arrays. So we just have to call this multiple times, and we're done. So, oh, and that actually explains why I was looking up the CSS box stuff. Wanted to see if there was anything I didn't remember on border box, because this is kind of what I want to implement here. But yeah, it just includes the padding in the border. If you look in any debugger, web debugger, if you just inspect any element on the page, this, what's going on? I'm gonna let the puppy out, just a moment. Alright, sorry that took so long. But, it was eerily quiet out. I stayed for a moment. Is the video hanging? Let's see, I just paused for a moment. I was checking on things outside. And Twitch says my stream's been, well, they say it's unstable, but that was for a while ago. So who knows? Could be. All right. So where I was going with this was the box model at the bottom here. You can see the margin, the border, padding, and the element itself. So I wanted to try to create an element like that. Or rather, an element that had these properties. I'm loading up my Starlink app. Question made me wonder whether or not it's been behaving. This has been fantastic, by the way. Better than nothing beta. It drops every now and then, but I think I've got my buffering set up right. Hopefully it doesn't freeze the video too bad. Where will we go? Okay, so yeah, whoa. There we go. So this bit here is what we're looking at. Actually, I don't even think you can see that. Anyhow. Okay. Back to where we were. We're going to add surface arrays on there. You can also add names. Surface set name, so we could get and set by name, which is somewhat interesting. Godot, thank you. I am doing well. Well, I'm doing better. My weekend, I just took the opportunity to rest. I felt like I was coming down with something, but I'm feeling better now. So, how have you been? Oh, the ducklings. They're not ducklings anymore. They're all big. So that, and we've had actually 2 of them survive. So thing they don't tell you about free range is that if you're doing free range in an area where there are free range predators, yeah. Morning, everyone. Morning, Nightshade Dude. Xenocron. This one seemed interesting. Surface update region. Warning. Use only if you know what you're doing. Oh, and it dawned on me of one other project that might be fun. I was looking at Lion the other day, Leon. And as an effort to try to understand the type state pattern better, where is that? Let's go into another repo. They had some issues in here. Oh, issues up the top, of course. And, there were some easy help wanted things on here. The Rust API guidelines, going through, cleaning up some of the API guidelines, et cetera, et cetera. And I was looking at this thinking, okay, we should go through, look at the Rust API guidelines, and how these can be applied to this. Now, having gone through that, it then dawned on me as I was going through this that some of these have this little block here. It's on a bunch of these API endpoints. So whenever you're using a path builder, you can add polygon, you can extend, you can do all these things to this. But sometimes you're not allowed to call certain functions. I think the type state pattern would be good for this, in that you could say, hey, we're starting one of these subpaths, so go into this other state and only transition back once it's been completed. I think that would be something that could work really well for this. So we might do that later. Not right now, but later. So let's go back to this. I'm going to add something here. I don't know what to call this though. Box, and whether or not I should break it down into smaller logical pieces. So we could have, margin, padding, border, content, or, some of these don't actually have any sort of display. There. But we are in the UI mod section. We're going to start adding some pieces here. Oh, that's right. And did this finish? Oh, it's very, very close. Thinking about these different pieces. Given the box model, there's only two pieces that have any sort of mesh. That'd be the content and then the border. Free range meals. I just saw that. Yeah, we're gonna have bald eagles around here. And I think we had one of our turkeys once attacked by a bald eagle. Beat it up really bad. Really, really bad. I ended up having to put it down, but free range meal, it got away. I'd say I don't know where to start here. We're going to have a border, margin, padding, content. Some things that I think are special in here, that the border is displayed. Same with the content. One thing that I miss in any of the 9 grids that I've seen in Godot is the ability to control how certain parts of the 9 grid repeat. Does the top left, let's see, let's get a visual here. So let's say the right section there, does the texture on that side stretch or does it repeat? Okay. Those top, bottom, left, and right sections. It's very helpful to be able to repeat those if you want to. Alright, I'm just going to create something called a box. I'll be GD native. We're doing this in 3D space. We don't need one of those. Oh, it's getting there. It's getting there. That could also be one of the dropped frames. Let's see. Check on the stats. Encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings or using a... Oh, yeah, so I am getting drop frames for some reason. Huh. I think it's the CPU usage. When I was looking at the, going back to little explorations here, the Rust API guidelines, which we've pulled up, I don't know, dozens of times on the stream. I've looked through them before, so you can read them over there. And there's the checklist here. Types eagerly implement common traits. This set. Conversions use the standard traits from Azref, Azmute. I don't tend to use Azref and Azmute as much as I could. But this is a great place to kind of look through and understand these things. They explain it all. It's really nice. All right, so let's see. If we need another type to represent our margin. That can be reused for the padding. What do we want it to be? So this is going to be margin. This will have 4 things: top, right, bottom, left, etc. And those portions will each have some sort of size. They need to be F32s in this case. Call it sides. Mr. Braun, good morning. Happy Tuesday. And please, if you have any specific questions, please interrupt. Now, in this case, we also have border. And the border has sides. Maybe we just create something else that has that is border. We'll also have corners. Because we might have like a radius, etc. on the corners. Ooh, that's going to be interesting, doing that with Leon. Should be possible. Let's see, let's go clockwise from the top right, bottom right, bottom left, and top left. And this is really corner radius. Corner radii. We're not going to do the whole thing that margin can do. Margin actually has these interesting states where margins can overlap. Move my chair out of the way. There we go. We're standing today. Okay. Now let's get into the drawing pieces. What am I missing? Oh, we have padding. Margin padding border. I don't really have anything that describes the content yet. Maybe background. All right. Could pass default on each one of these. There we go. Okay. Let's see, can box contain things? We should probably have some traits here. I'm just going to stamp out some things that I think might be available, whether or not we use them. We'll have render. I don't know, size seems like it's got some sort of fixed size. I don't know, there might be multiple things here. Like something that can resize it or given a space, how do you fill it? What else? My render could also be draw. Something about a container, pub trait. Does it contain other things? All right. See, right there, my signal dropped. It's actually dropped right now while I'm speaking. It's coming back. I'm watching it come back. And then it hits Twitch with a whole bunch of data. So I don't even know if that's coming across as a loss to you guys. All right. I'm just not. So now I'm trying to reason through. If we did toss some sort of function on here, render, does it even do anything? Okay, it's probably going to be immutable self, etc. If we had something like that, we can only have one methods here, one place where we can export stuff. So is that going to be an issue? Oh, it finished. Yay. Rust analyzer is already good. All right, prettier, you do your thing. I'm going to open one more of these. Bug update. Okay, not too bad. It's on the right side there. Simple render for box. Oh, we got our new COC restarting. Give it a moment. Is this file not getting indexed? No, it is. Okay. Because this should say that not all the methods are implemented, and let me fill that in. It's not. I'm just feeling a little lazy. Okay. We need a couple other things. We need our mesh. And our array mesh can actually have multiple things on it, which is great. And then in our public API, we will refer to certain things by name. It's going to suck. No, we do it by number. We'll do that when we get there. All right, so hopefully we'll have some sort of to-do in here for all right. That one. So in this case, we're going to create that array mesh, or rather we're going to update it. Should probably impl default for this. Yeah, there's all sorts of errors that aren't showing up. Right, like array mesh, I do not think that this has default on it. So we should have an error here. Okay, what's gone wrong? Syntax error, expected a name. Does box look like a name to you? Like here it works. Oh. It wasn't included in this list. UI. On box. Yeah, this should all work now. Actually, I'm gonna stop it, start it again. Sometimes after updating some of those, restarting Vim is the better idea. Lib. Yes, we have UI. Let's open another file. All right, back to box. We're going to use Leon. Draw the border. Draw AW, the content, the background, really. All right. Now, if I come back over to one of our previous examples, we've got, what is it, glyph? Glyph has an array mesh in it. And on, let's see, we're not using multi-mesh, so we're going to ignore those pieces. Let's try to remember how to set this up. Okay. Well, the path builder. Why does this keep its path builder? Oh, that's a glyph mesh builder. That's fine. Yep. We need some sort of vertex buffer. Because when we get down to it here, geometry ends up being vertices, indices. What is a vertex buffer? Let's look that up real quick. Really? Buffers? Is it going to be in like a Leon geometry? I mean, this says that it re-exports things. Guessing it's in geometry. Vertex buffers. Okay, where does this come from? Tessellation. Okay. Alright, and I think they have some sort of rectangle already in here. Add rectangle. But there's a rounded rectangle. Oh, there. Add rounded rectangle. There it is. Could just use that. Or type alias to it. Back to our box. Corners, border radii, whatever. Goodbye, corners. Yeah, see, this still isn't catching. Syntax error, expected a name. File not found. Fine, I get that, that's correct. Box. Expected a name. Cargo check. And this is really annoying. Every now and then when I have a syntax error somewhere, I cannot do a check because of that other project. It keeps blocking me too. Alright. I want this to work. Let's fix this. So what we're going to do, we're just going to leave terminal 1 how it is, so we can just run a cargo check on it. Now, going to override this GD native projects util, and we'll go adjust it. Now, it's really just a big set of macros. No, it's not macros, it's actually just analyzing a bit of the source. So, cargo check, try again. Okay, versions are incompatible. Let's fix that. Oh, 014. Oh, 10. Okay, let's just make sure we have the right version. No. Ah, this is my fork of it. Huh. Yeah. Well, let's get the right one. There it is. Thought it was in the history. Alright, this is... Let's call this upstream. Get... Let's add upstream. Lies. I didn't do that correctly, did I? Get... So we're on... get checkout master, which is origin master. Merge upstream master. Let's push. There. Okay. Now we're up to date. So this should work. Go check. All right, so we're looking to get rid of this parse error. If there is some sort of parse error, what should this project do? Good question. What is this project doing? This project is used in the build script. So in here, it's used to translate the exported classes into GD native configuration files for Godot. That's its whole purpose. So if this fails to parse the code, I do not think that it should provide this sort of error. Instead, maybe it should just say, I can't do this right now. Something else, not the big scan of ugliness there. All right. So where's our entry point? Here we have lib. What are we using? We're using generator out of just star here. Okay. Anything else? It looks like it's just generator. So generate builder as generator. Let's go find builder. Oh yeah, so what functions are we calling? Godot projector and then build. Okay. Okay, this is probably one that could also use the kind of type-state pattern. You must do these before you do the rest of them. All right, build mode. And here's build. Whoa, look at this. All right, so it'll panic. I'm just doing a little bit of... What is this dunce? I'm not familiar with dunce. Oh. Windows file system stuff. That's funny. Okay. So loading up some stuff. Target directory. Yep. Okay. Build mode or else. Release or debug. Create dir all. It's the output directory. Lib extension. What do we have here? We have some scoping. What's going on in this block? Target directory, path diffs. Common binary outputs. Alright, and here we're writing some sort of content. Generate gdnlib or generate tres. Guessing that it's probably, oops, in that generate here. What happens after that? Let's set a marker here. Okay. If the paths starts with generate gdns. Yeah, it could be one of these two or this one down here. I'm guessing it's actually multiple. So check out what this generate gdnlib does. I do not think this is going to fail. Tres, same thing. That should be fine. Alright, so if that's not it, then it's probably this gdns. No, we missed something. I don't think that's it. Here. Alright, I missed something. This classes is passed in, that's what I missed. Alright, where did we call build from? It's going back. Oh, that's right, we were in builder. And build is called given the classes. Alright. So here's classes. Classes is from scan crate. Ah. Oh. Guessing it's in scan crate is. And the error, we probably don't even have to modify anything here. But if the walk fails, it's going to return an error. Which means that here in our crate, we don't have to throw the error. We translate it. We'll only do this if the scan is correct. Yeah, I know. If we fail to build for some reason, we'll leave that one on there. But why? Okay, let's try that out. I'll go check. Ta-da! Okay. See, it's this here. I think the example is what I had used. I do not think that this is the best way to show this as an example. You can still improve this. README. You know what? We probably only want to handle certain errors. Or, because if the file doesn't exist, etc., we probably still want some sort of error there. Let's see. Let's give it some error that's just terrible. Or rather, let's see what sort of errors it can provide. Scan error gives us a walkthrough and a parse error. So if there's a parse error, that's really what we wanted to ignore. But if there's a read file error or a walkthrough error, let's put that back. I'm going to match instead. Okay, we'll just pass through. Then we'll have a couple errors. So in the case of the parse error, let's see, is that exported? The scan error type. It is, scan error. Any other error though, we're going to we'll go ahead and return as an error. I wonder if is there a nice map that you can do that does this for us? Because we only want to convert this in certain cases. I think there is. Let's look at. Yeah, we can map error. But then if it's okay, no, we do want to return early. You know what? That is very wordy. Just gonna check for that one case. Where are you located? You're located in Project Detail Scan error. Okay. Oh, it's private. Well, that's unfortunate. That must be in the public API somewhere. Otherwise, it would be whining that it's not available. Let's check the docs. I do not think it's there. Either that or it's hidden. I didn't know that you could do this. Because in this case, this type is returned. However, we can't do anything with it because the type isn't public. I didn't think this was possible. Lib. Yeah, it's not exported. Or scan is. Scan crate, rather. Alright, well, let's make that available. It's even documented, so that should be fine. And why is... I'll go check. Expected tuple structure or tuple variant found enum scanner. Oh, yes, of course. We want scanner parse. Thank you. One more check. Very nice. Oh, box is a reserve word. That makes me sad. We might just do this. It'd be awful and gross, but we might do it. All right. Yeah, there. And that was the other error I was expecting. That doesn't expect. And we should have another one for. Doesn't implement default too. All right. Let's create a PR. Get status. Checkout. Oh, just get UI. Let's toss a little PR out there first. Let's say I didn't say that correctly. Here, issues. Okay, not exploring there. That's a terrible. This could be better, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. All right, there's that. Let's see, this fixes issue number 15. Okay, done. Push. we'll go to our branch of it. There we go. Okay, that's going to do its thing. Just checking some things. All right. All right, so coming back over here, well, so he's using the wrong one. Let's restart it so it picks up the right one. But then in our UI module, use box. What's a different name for box? All right. I do not like any of those. Container. Enclosure. Oh well. Let it be. There we go. There's our default. Oh, because border radii doesn't have a default? Why not? Blah. Why doesn't it implement default? It's a bunch of floats. Do I have Leon here? There we go. I wonder if they've done this on purpose. There's Leon. Here's Leon. Issues. Default. 26 closed. Alright, well, let's make a PR. We're looking for border radii. There we go. Alright, now going back to the checklist. Types eagerly implement the common traits. Most important common traits to implement from standard are these. Implement those. Alright. Most of these should just be automatic. Display, maybe. It should be okay. Okay, what else should we do in here? Conversion traits. We could implement from F32. When they take this and generate this here. That might be going a little far, because you could just call the constructor on it. Give this a check. Hash is not implemented for F32. That makes sense. All right. But display we should implement. You know what? That's standard format display. That's why it doesn't know what it is. Huh. Why? No, I don't want to wait for that Rust analyzer to index everything. Okay. No, it was saying, what was it? Ord, but not partial ord. Partial ord's okay for an F-32. And what's partial equal? All right. Let's implement display. Let's search for display. I wanted to see if they had guidelines on implementing display. All right. Good open source citizen. Yep, that's me. That's me. Didn't think I was going to be doing that today. Simple standard format. Or order radii. I mean, really, it's going to look very similar to the debug. We do this one of two ways. We can do it this way. Like so. Self dot. Ooh, do we start at the top left for this one? No, let's do it the other way. F dot. What was it on formatter? There was see, I want it to be a little bit more concise than the default debug formatter. So I was hoping to have maybe. See, debugability usually has debug representation is never empty. That's fine. Implement cdebug. No, let's. Whatever, let's just do it. Order radii. That looks gross. That looks better. Top left, self dot top right. Oops, no semicolon at the end of that. Okay, fine. Wait. See, I was going to do it the other way just because it's implemented like in CSS, right? So if you wanted to say that this thing, whatever I'm currently selecting, had, well, let's choose something that we could see. This guy here, this div. We want to give it border radius. This element. Border radius. I'm going to give it 3 pixels, 5 pixels, 7 pixels, 9 pixels. Okay. And that starts, well, then you can expand it. And you'll see that the 3 is the top left. So we could just assume that this is like a well-known convention, that the top left always comes first. Just show it that way. There. I'm happier with that. Let's display. That's not too bad. You're back. 1 minute. All right. Heater was just a little too low. Oof, it's chilly in here. Okay, let's go ahead and make a PR for this. What do we do? No. Reordered things. La. Grumble, grumble, grumble. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Here. I like this one because I can do lines easily. Let's say I just want to stage those lines and stage this chunk here. As the rest of this was just the formatter being aggressive. I want the commit to be specific. Alright, so we did that. I'm going to restore this. Give it a cargo check just to make sure. Okay. Let's close that. Which one of the rules was it? Checklist? Actually, what was the type? I forgot what the type was. Whatever that was. Following. What's it called? Border radii. Ugh. There we go. Actually, too many spaces. There we go. Add equal or word. Let's add some backticks on here to make it obvious. All right. Alt// common traits. Let's push. Toss that in there. All right, that means that we have to let's see, what was that? That was the oh, Reed Rayner. Good morning. Oh my goodness. I missed your comment from forever ago. Apologies. Kind of slid in there with that pretzel rocks. If you're there, if you're still there, how have you been? That is in path. So path is called Lion Path. Okay. There we go. Goodness, I should probably override all of Lyon. Path and tessellation. Yeah. Now it implements default. Yay! Ah. Pipe annotations needed. Oh, yeah. Right now this one. Equal and ORed, I get. Hash also. Sausage casserole sounds delicious. Oh, we forgot today. This. There we go. Oh, array mesh. Oh, you tease. Well, the rest of it. That is so sad. This mesh could be optional. It's not going to exist until it's actually been created. So we can add default. Whoa. There we go. All right, now for the render. Now, Leon had border radii and can draw rounded rectangles, which is fantastic. If you have a rounded rectangle, what is the inner space size? Is it the margin minus the border? Well, minus the border's largest radii? I'll have to see. What does CSS do? Just, let's say we're going to adjust the border radii on this thing. So you have 5 pixels, 10 pixels, 15 pixels, and 20 pixels. Actually, it doesn't. Unless you draw all the way up to the corner. Like the first one, let's say this was 50. Oh wow, yeah. For some reason that's never really sunk in CSS with me. So I've always ever used small border radius. But that's surprising to me. Because then if you wanted to have the padding, say, oh, you know what, we're going to do padding 30 pixels and toss that inside. Huh. Ah, yes. Food stuffing and Rust learning. Oh, you want to finish the random number guessing game tonight? Oh, very cool. Very cool. I know which one you're talking about. All right. Possibly get quite a bit further on your JavaScript course too. Nice. Oh, I see. It's because, yeah. Because I've got the dark view thing on. Dark Reader is very adamant about not letting that change. All right. And it put it back. Oh, that's so funny. Possibly get quite a bit further on your JavaScript course too. Nice. Which JavaScript course are you taking? All right, now the reason I was doing this because I also wanted to check the. Come on. This, yes. Order. Yeah, there we go. I want to be able to do that. Notice how the radius on the top right, it's almost coming down to a dot on the inner radius. If we were to drop that just a little bit more here, say to like 5 pixels, then it is a single pixel there, the inner corner. This will be interesting. Well, let's see what happens. All right. Actually, can that be adjusted too? Border radius. Here we say it's 9 pixels, but really each one of those sides, top, right, bottom, left, can be adjusted. So if we did 5. Oh. No, come back. Where were you? That doesn't work for border, does it? I mean, I've never really tried to have different thicknesses on the different sides. I imagine that you could specify that. Like border right width. Alright, I'm going to turn off Dark Reader for this. It's getting in the way. Okay. Ooh, I don't like that. That's too aggressive. Dark blue. There we go. So you can have something like that. See on the right side? Oh, the entry and the exit of those. Wow. Just wow. Now let's magnify this a little bit. Say this is 30. Oh, that doesn't help. The bottom right is going to be 50. There. Oh, that's crazy. It should be okay. Because really all we're doing is changing where the begin and end points are. Okay, I think I see how it's working. Feels like we're reverse engineering the CSS drawing for the boxes. So I need to close down some Chrome tabs. Just a moment. Okay. Well, let's draw the outer. Draw AW. It'd be fun if we could do that in like an ASCII art. Kind of get this example in there. I don't think we could. All right. So to do this, we need to have what? Excuse me. Yeah, vectors. Let's see, what is the end goal here? Well, we want to create an array mesh. Right? Does it just have a new function? What was it? Where it says set surface. Come on. Set surface what? Not surface material. Oh, you know what? Was it array mesh from? All right, let's just look it up. This is not in Leon. This is going to be from GD native. You know what? Let's comment these two lines out. And if it's building, cargo, check. This is one of the best ways to use the cargo docs, especially if you don't know which crate, like in Leon, the type is in. Just build all the documentation locally and you can search them all at the same time. Makes for a much more pleasant documentation searching experience. I'm going to pour some tea while we're waiting. There we go. Squeak. Actually, while we're waiting. To be fair, GD Native has a lot of types in it, so it does take it a while. But we don't have to do that very often, which is nice. And for as long as this takes, it will save us time. All right, now let's back up. Add surface from arrays. That's it. And on our type, we're going to want to be able to provide the material that gets passed through. So come on back. Box. Oh, no, that's not box. Order material. Now let's turn this into a resource, sides here. And I don't know about background. Background's kind of a property of the others at the moment. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Why? Oh, it joined them. That's what happened. Copy, clone. Partial equal word. I thought hash didn't implement for that. Yep, these. There. And just to check on this, resource, we should be able to derive and create a resource object. Viable clan member. You managed to install NVim and a plugin manager for it. Oh, what's the bar at the bottom of my Vim called? This one here? Or the one down here? So A or B? Actually, is Capitan on? Capitan, are you there? Yes, Capitan is there. Oh, which one? I don't find it distracting at all. It's more just informational. And the blue versus the red, that's insert mode versus not insert mode. So here in my dot files, I think it's called Lightline. Yeah, a status bar. That's what I'm using. Oh, Capitan's the bot. Capitan's the bot. It's quite all right. But yeah, that's what it is. With the color scheme to match the rest of it, and then just some of the other bits. Now, also, as you save and do things in here, I actually find this to be very helpful to see what the status of the Rust analyzer is. And now I can see there's 5 errors, and I can go in and see them. All right, let's create a new for this. Impl size. Oh, function new. What is this? Tref for a resource? I don't remember how to do this. This doesn't feel right. I think I've made a resource in the past. How do I do that? I think it was in Legacy. Here. Okay. No. It's just like that. We're close. The tref resource. Same difference. That. Okay. Ignore it anyways. But if we do this, do these get exported automatically, or do I have to make them exported? Different colors for each mode, yeah. Yeah, the plus versus, yeah, I like the colors versus the plus versus not plus. Yeah, that plus there is really just whether or not it's been changed before saving. property default equal to 0. Same for all of them. All right. Actually, going to copy paste. Border radii. Ooh. Border radii. In order to make that a resource, I might have to make one myself. Size as a resource, it should be able to do that then. Border radii, no. That makes me sad. That should probably go above it. We'll implement a conversion function, which will be super simple. All right, now we have our box. Now we can say that these are properties as well. Oh, I missed that by one. Okay. Mesh is internal. The rest of them just decorate or describe how mesh is built. Okay. Yeah, the only indication on that, I keep looking back at that text, thinking, what does Vim have? I think it's really just the plus. Describes whether or not you're in that mode. So if I say nvim, no, just vim, foobar, it's a new file. Yeah, you just have insert, escape, and save it. Oh yeah, nothing that says whether or not it's been saved or not. You can look in your buffers and see that it's not saved. Not very helpful. All right, we're gonna skip to render for a moment. I want to see this actually work. Unresolved import? Since when? No, those are fine. You're lying. All right, remove that import. Anything else? 16 errors, yes. The method with setter exists for the property. What? Interesting. All right, how do we implement export? Let's look up export. Oh. Oh. Oh, that looks delicious, man. I just got the image. That looks fantastic. Oh. All right, so where's export? A trait. A type-specific hint that is valid for the type being exported. So we get it. It's a typed array or a variant array. Oh, the stream is 3 minutes lagged. Wow, 3 minutes. And part of it's thanks to brought to you by Starlink, because whenever it drops, it causes an issue. Then I turned off the real-time streaming. I am West Coast, but that shouldn't matter. It's really because of the like Starlink is stupid fast, especially compared to what I used to have. But I get 1 to 2 second drops every couple minutes, and I think because of that, it's introduced a little bit of buffering in this process. So I think Twitch is buffering. I'm probably buffering a little bit. I don't know why. I just don't really. This song, I'm not. Yeah. I think it's the dreaminess of it. There you hear. I never would have been able to do this before. Like my max, theoretical max before was 4 megabit per second. And this is just much, much better than I've been able to do in the past. That, and you have to realize we're streaming at close to 2 megabits as well, which means that this measurement here is suffering. If we hit it again, we're going to get different results. Which is just awesome. I mean, 38 millisecond ping time? Oh, that's unreal for me. It's probably better than that because I've got actual equipment in the way causing issues. So my ping time, if I was direct connect to that, would be much, much better. So, yeah. It's worth the trade-offs for me, and I believe it's only going to get better. So eventually those 1 to 2 second drops are going to go away. And, well, I mean, I was actually considering setting up a WISP in this area because fiber isn't far from me. And I'm just technical enough that I could probably set it up and get my neighbors involved and sell them like this sort of internet speeds at like $100 a month. The capital cost would be higher, but it would have cost me $1,000 to $2,000 a month for the fiber, and then I'd have to sell that off portions, plus the expense of getting all the radios. So we probably wouldn't do fiber to the home. Yes, that's crazy, crazy Starlink. All right. Oh, you're gonna get it when it comes to UK? Oh, very cool. One of the things I'd like to look at is the satellite map.space. Has all the Starlink trains. You can see the last one they launched here. Let's close that overlay. You can see a lot of density still to fill in, but it's getting there. Each time they do one of these trains here, it's gonna get better. Get a train coming right at you. Viable clan member. It's heading your way. It's gonna miss the UK. It's gonna hit Europe though. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And they're starting to do their polar orbits. Where's their polar orbit train? Sometimes you can see it. I think it's this one down here. This one. It's been changing direction slowly, very slowly. But that one goes over the poles. And you can see why they offer internet at the edges. If you take a look, Canada here, right, most of Canada's got some pretty good coverage. Just look at that. But yeah, I'm not in Canada, so over here in the Pacific Northwest area. And still I have moments. Then I have to mount it. Right now it's like kicking it. And I had set it on snow, and then the snow melted, and it tilted a little bit, and I had to reset it. Lower ping than fiber, yes, yes. Well, you know what the speed of light is outside of air, right? Well, in a vacuum, I guess that's what I mean. In a vacuum, it's what, 800, yeah. So 300,000 meters per second, right? All right. But what is it in glass? In glass, it's 200,000. So already you're going 2/3 the speed of light, right? When you're in glass. But also, it bounces inside the glass. It's not going like straight through the glass, right? If you think of fiber optic cable, light isn't going straight through it from like one end to the other. It actually bounces in there. So you're at an angle, which means you're not going straight, you're going at an angle, and you don't get like Super Mario Kart driving at an angle sort of boost. It actually slows you down. So you'll lose a little bit more. So you're 2/3 because you're in glass, plus you're at an angle, so you might be, I don't know what the actual speed would be in fiber versus light in a vacuum. But Starlink's going, what, 550 kilometers up from where I am? And then back down. It's amazing. That and their equipment is probably really top-notch equipment. I think my old microwave internet was slow, partly because, well, ping-wise, because the hardware was not that fast. Actually introduced, I think, a 20 or 30 second millisecond delay. All right, now we're trying to get this export thing. So we could import to variant and create a tuple. Oh, the satellites? Yeah, they are moving really quick. It's like 7 or 8 millimeters or kilometers per second. It is chilly in here today. I'm going to turn on another heater. Be right back. All right. From variant and to variant. Oh, you gotta go? Take care, man. Thanks for dropping in. I don't understand why this one... Okay, so sides. Is that in... Where do we put this variant thing? To variant with, from variant with. Or do we put it here? Like, oops. Or can we put it on this? To variant with and from variant with. Now find attribute variant in the scope. Okay, so it's probably something here. Oh, no, we have to derive to variant first. Okay. I guess if we're doing variant, then we don't have to do native class. No more property. Oh, I like property being on there. I mean, can we do both? A resource that's also a variant? Struggling to set this up the way it should be done. Should we be using a variant in this case? Variants, all sorts of cool stuff. I don't think it's the right thing. Experts not implemented. And to variant, we could export it as a tuple, right? What do these get exported as? Just variant. It's not very helpful. So let's see. Where's a 2 version, like a 2 tuple? It's funny how they're just kind of mixed in here. Oh, here it is. This one. Ah. One variant, 2 variant. Yeah, it's just putting them in a variant array. Huh. And what is a resource then? Variant. No longer need that whole section there. Interesting. Why does border need to export? Need to implement export? Great for exportable types. Because box. It's because of box. Yeah, there it is. So sides and border need to implement this. And a type-specific hint. What are the options? Int hint, string hint. Alright, so there's quite a few hints there. Interesting that some of these more complicated types actually have that hint as unit. So like this rectangle, right? Interesting. For the type, in this case, just type. Oh, I see. So for like a plane, it's just plain. Variant type plane. Huh. And that's like the variant type. What is a variant type? Oh, I see. So we'd say these are dictionaries. So that's probably how they will be exported from to variant. From variant not satisfied. Mismatch types. What? Okay, I think that's the wrong. Well, this is a fun exercise. I think if I just put all these properties directly on here, it would be a bit more straightforward. Watch. All right. Margin. Stop. F32. You see what's going to happen here. Now for the border. So I have the margin with the padding, border itself. Now this is for the border width. Then we'll do border radius. So down here we'll do. Top left. Are we missing some? Method cannot be called on property builder due to unsatisfied trait bound. Option doesn't satisfy export. Huh. Really? I could just do material instead? Well, that's not going to work, because then I need to provide a material, but I don't want to do that. I think we have to provide it with a hint here. Oh, it's because it doesn't know what kind of material. I'm pretty sure I've been able to be able to set a material. Where would I have done that? Oh, well, yeah, it's setting colors. We were setting colors on stuff. On canvas. Ah, ref to a material. That's it, yes. It needs to be a reference. That makes sense. Because we do not own the material. Not in this case. Does that mean that these should have been like a ref to one of those? For fun. Wait, no, not this. Inherit resource. Toss that back on there. Impl new for this. Oh, interesting. Godot object isn't implemented. That makes sense because a ref is usually going to types that are in the scene. What's the analog for those other types? We look at Godot. Search health. Got nodes. Basically a Godot object here. It's one type, but for everything else, all this other stuff. Reference? How does GD native represent that? Oh yeah, thread safety guidelines here. Yeah. Seen that before. Keep a ref. Ref. Well, it can only wrap things that are of type Godot object, not the other kinds. Is it instance? No. That's where the scripts. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We want a resource. Let's look at the examples. I think there's an example in there. Well, actually, we had an example. It was here. Or was path used? Is it not? It's not even used. No, that's not what I want. Resource. Just derive native class, inherit resource, creating resource. It's a string. Opt into an instance of that. All right. I don't know if default's going to work with instance. No. Hey, Reed Rayner, back from Food What's New. We looked at the examples in the Godot source code, the Godot Rust source code, and found a way to do this. Hopefully we don't have to make it optional. I don't really want it to be optional. We might have to. We're going to register sides. Oh, what a mess. Oh. We have a control key stock. It's usually the USB hub that gets me. Maybe we should rename it to just BX. There we go. Property inheritance, what's this? Good question. So I'm using Godot, and we're using the Godot Rust interface to it. But Godot is built using C++ and has OOP. So in this case, you have node that extends from object and so on and so forth. Rust can mimic this in a couple ways. One way, and the way that GD Native is doing it, is by using deref. Okay. Now, in GD Native here, if we look at the docs on this, you will see, let's go to something like spatial. And in here it'll say, you know, this is the class hierarchy for it. Spatial extends from node and then object. And if you scroll down on the left, you'll see that it derefs. So this type, this spatial object, can deref into node, which can then deref into object. So yeah. So it is a bit of a object-oriented-ified Rust, but it's mostly just because it's trying to model the Godot API. What technologies, languages do I use for quick scripts, text processing, and system automation? That depends. Usually if there's a set of scripts that are already there, like if you're thinking of adding something to a larger system, I would do as in, like, when in Rome, use whatever they're using. That might be, Python, that might be something else, might be Bash scripting. But if I was going to build a little tool just for fun, I'd probably do it in something I was, comfortable with. In which case, I might just use Rust. This stream has gone fairly slow because I'm doing a lot of stuff that I'm not that familiar with. But in terms of, like, if you were moving stuff around or stuff like that, that's fine. I did build a script in Rust that, for work, that was fairly quick and easy. It actually looked at JSON blobs and kept, it was basically analyzing license files for dependencies. I did that in Rust. And toss my gloves on. This office is just chilly today. It's beating me up. There we go. Let's close this file. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like it'll work now. Oh, what a mess. Do we undo to that point? No, we can't, because I renamed the file. 2 minutes ago. Yes. Okay. So, also, there is a large delay, and I think it's caused by my network. Occasionally, Starlink drops for a second or two. Hey, I'm supporting them, and it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's the better than nothing beta. So. Up left. Up right. Okay. That might work. Yeah. Calibrate my gloves again. Default, it's got default. They both do. What's wrong? Oh, because of instance. Ah. Oops. Oh my goodness, this has gone poorly. There we go. Oh, BX is private. There we go. So we have to register border radii, sides. Hello, me in the future. Alright, so we have both of those. Then we need this to be a pub struct. Then we'll register box as well. There we go. Cargo build. Alright, let's restart this. Get this set up. Alright, so let's just create a new scene. We'll call it box. Box is going to be a 3D scene. And box is going to inherit from that pretty new thing we just made, native. Uh-oh, box isn't there. Oh, it is. It is. I just didn't see it load. We'll save that as box and scenes. Sure, just save it somewhere for a minute. Oh, look at that. Margin. Whoa. Wow. Is it in here or is sides? Load. Native. Did that script type even... Let's clear and load this. Just... Native. Sides is there, so sides should be available. Alright, let's put that back to box. I dislike that this is empty. Box shape. I'd expect it to be in this list. In here. Because it's not even giving me a different way to create one. Alright. Yeah, that's just wrong. If I create sides, let's say sides is some sort of other node. I'm just going to a resource. You can't do that. Wish I could just type it in. I can't. Huh. Alright. Might have to do it the other way and just aggregate it or something. I'll bet it is available if we create some other script. Let's just create a 3D scene. Toss a script on there. Not native script. Let's say it's GD script. Spatial fine. No. Inherits from... Yes, fine. What's it? Var s equal to sides. New. Oh, I forgot. It's dot new here. Yes. So it exists.